Stafford here aboard the Disney Dream to give you a behind-the-scenes look at their brand new production of Beauty and the Beast. Coming up, the number that'll really leave you wanting more.
Hello everyone, I'm Heather Dawson, and it's a pleasure bringing you the best of California every week on our show. It's a fresh twist on a tale as old as time. California Life's Audra Stafford takes us behind the scenes of Disney Cruise Line's brand new stage adaptation of Beauty and the Beast.
It's a story we all know and love. Reimagined for audiences aboard the Disney Dream.
The Disney Cruise Line version really does reflect the new live-action film, but we also have the original animated, the Broadway production, the scores from all of those. So it was an exciting process to work with everyone when you have so much to draw from.
Bonjour!
Bonjour!
Bonjour! Bonjour!
The process of taking this show from page to stage took about 2 years for writer Sarah Wordsworth and the rest of the creative team.
We actually started when the film was still in production.
Good morning, Belle.
They not only had to adapt the script,
And I would think about what are the iconic visual moments, what are the iconic lines.
they also had to find a way to capture the rich look of the film without a lot of bulky backdrops and set pieces. Because this is one of 3 shows on the ship, all of those sets, all of that stuff has to fit in a small space along with all the stuff from the other shows. How do you make that work?
It's a really unique challenge because this whole thing has to set up and go away in a matter of about an hour.
We knew we wanted to use a lot of video on the show, but we really didn't want it to feel like actors in front of a movie screen. So then the next phase in that was to really make it feel as theatrical as possible while still using as much video.
While they were busy figuring all of that out, the talented cast was busy perfecting the show's big song and dance numbers at the Disney Cruise Line rehearsal facility in Toronto. Like Gaston. And Be Our Guest.
Connor Gallagher, the original director-choreographer of this show, wanted to really inspire everyone by taking us through all the courses of a French meal. There's a runway show, we have puppetry in the show, and it all finishes with a giant confetti finish.
That is sure to leave you hungry for more. Bringing you the best of entertainment, I'm Audra Stafford for California Life.
Celebrating a decade of style, this year's Fashion Week San Diego's annual fall runway show staged unique designer brands, inspiring us to stay in style in every season. Celebrating a decade of style, this year's Fashion Week San Diego annual fall runway show staged unique designer brands, inspiring men and women to stay in style through all seasons.
San Diego is the perfect storm for an event like this. We're a border town, which is fantastic for manufacturing. We're a college town, which is great for innovation and entrepreneurship. We're a military town, so talk about great influences from all around the world.
As the show celebrated the past, present, and future, 21 emerging fashion artists from around the world with various backgrounds and styles presented the newest collections. One of them is from San Diego. Her pieces are feminine, classy, subtle, and tailored to modern women, those who do it all.
The woman that's on the go, the mom, she's a business owner, like she's everything all in one. So I keep her in mind.
And talking about the fast-paced lifestyle of the modern world, Nicole shared why social media is essential for promoting her brand to the fashion industry and the world.
It's really helped my brand because I have been contacted and I've been asked to participate in shows. So social media is very helpful. It gets your brand out there and people get to know you and get to know more about you.
On the runway, diverse models displayed from revolutionizing binary, non-gender specific clothing to urban, bold swimwear and elegant night dresses from Rocca Brand by Carlos Ramirez, who gives us an insight of what he believes are the upcoming trends in the fashion industry.
I think it's going to be a lot of sheer, which has been going on for the last few months. A lot of florals. Florals and big gowns.
Thorough, unique, artistic expressions, Fashion Week San Diego did it again. It connected consumers and designers through their runway shows. And their annual dog fashion show introduced all kinds of dogs who rocked the runway in hopes of finding their forever homes. Next year, the organization hopes to merge their nonprofit sister organization, Fab Authority, with Fashion Week San Diego.
And make this event an annual gala and fundraiser to help the creatives in this community of San Diego. So I'm very excited about pursuing and having those discussions about how we can actually take it one step further. That's very exciting to me.
To stay on top of all fashion trends and find out about Fashion Week San Diego's future events, follow them on social media or visit their website, fashionweeksd.com. To stay on top of all fashion trends and find out about Fashion Week San Diego's future events, follow them on social media or visit their website. Coming up next, approximately 10,000 people died from melanoma last year, and there seems to be a common thread for those most susceptible to the deadly skin cancer. All this and more when we come back. Sunny California is known for its great weather, but all that sunshine can have a negative effect on your skin. David Wiley takes a look at melanoma and some of the latest treatments for skin cancer.
The American Cancer Society estimates that more than 87,000 new cases of melanoma were diagnosed in the U.S. last year alone, and approximately 9,700 people died from the disease. Of the many types of skin cancer, melanoma is the most serious and has also become increasingly common, with the incidence rates growing by nearly 50% over the last 15 years.
Most melanomas, not all, but most of them are caused by exposure to UV radiation, meaning the sun, or tanning salons, for example, which can damage the skin, and that sets up the process of cancer in the melanocytes, which makes a melanoma. And as you saw, it's increasing in likelihood, it's increasing in incidence, and the number of deaths, thank goodness, has probably plateaued, but the incidence has gone up every year over the last 20 years.
Dr. Louise Perkins is with the Melanoma Research Alliance, the largest nonprofit researcher of melanoma, and says melanoma patients need to ask questions when visiting their doctor.
Well, you should definitely ask them, what are the latest in treatments? Are there immunotherapies that would be right for me? What are the potential side effects of these therapies? What's your experience in using these therapies? And what are the goals of my treatment? We'd also recommend for any cancer patient that they obtain a second opinion.
There is some good news for melanoma patients. A new treatment option has been approved for use in people with melanoma whose cancer and affected lymph nodes have been surgically removed. The new therapy stems from an innovative area of research called immuno-oncology.
Immuno-oncology is sort of the science and study and treatment of patients with drugs that stimulate the immune system to kill the tumor. Those drugs don't directly kill the tumor cells, but what they do is they stimulate the immune system, which in the cancer-bearing state doesn't function normally. We call it exhausted. It's dysfunctional, and you can reinvigorate the immune system with this new class of drugs that have been developed over the last 15, 16 years to use the immune system itself to get rid of the tumor and prevent the tumor from returning after surgical removal.
To learn more about melanoma, visit the Melanoma Research Alliance at melanomacure.org. And to find out more about the latest advancement in treatment, talk to your doctor and visit opdivo.com. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
Many of us remember when ABC News reporter Bob Woodruff was seriously injured while covering our military in a war zone. While Bob has managed an incredible recovery, he and his wife Lee are using their experiences to bring attention to the plight of our injured military veterans. David Wiley has more.
It was 2006, and ABC News reporter Bob Woodruff was covering the war in Iraq when he and his cameraman were seriously injured by a roadside bomb. Bob suffered a severe head injury, and his wife Lee remembers receiving that horrible news.
So we got that phone call, and life changed in an instant, as it does for so many. Bob was in a coma for 5 weeks with his brain injury. He was hit. And in those moments in the hospital, we really understood what it meant to be a military family, even though we were not. And while everything was equal in the acute care stage, we were very aware of how young these families were, how few resources they had.
And while Bob's injuries were severe, he was miraculously able to return to ABC News 13 months after he was hurt. But his life-changing experience led him and his wife to start the Bob Woodruff Foundation to help injured veterans.
We began the Bob Woodruff Foundation 10 years ago in the hopes that we could take some of the attention that our story had generated and turn it back on the veterans and their families who really needed it. And the current issue that we are here and passionate about today is helping those veterans who've been injured in the war have families, because their injuries are not allowing them to have children.
Unfortunately, our Veterans Administration isn't allowed by Congress to date to provide such care.
Honestly, to me, it's not a political issue. We offer in vitro fertilization to our active duty service members who are in the military right now. But if you've been deployed, been injured, and can no longer have a family, we don't offer it to you when you come back. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
And while legislation to change these rules at the VA is making its way through Congress, that can take a long time. So an initiative called Heart for Heroes has joined forces with the Bob Woodruff Foundation in a public-private partnership to give these wounded warriors an opportunity to start a family.
We've partnered medically with the Bob Woodruff Foundation. Medical practices around the country have donated deeply discounted services, and programs like Farian Pharmaceuticals' Heart for Heroes program have provided medications. We look at this as a temporary fix, an interim solution. We need a permanent fix by our government.
But until that happens, there is help through this partnership and the Heart for Heroes initiative. To learn more about this issue, go to the National Infertility Association website at resolve.org or the American Society of Reproductive Medicine at asrm.org. And as always, consult with your own personal physician. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
I recently got the opportunity to talk to Im Lentino. Lentino's new single, Oceanside, follows the enormous success of Last Christmas, which is the reinterpretation of the classic George Michael song. To begin, I wanted to ask you how you got your start in the music industry.
I got my start at a very young age. I was 3 years old, 4 years old, singing, dancing, acting. 10 years old, I wrote my first song, and that's when I discovered songwriting. Loving the opportunity to bring hope, healing, and a little bit of sparkle into everyone's lives.
So you performed in places such as TVNC, Good Morning Show, the AMC channel, Hotel Cafe, Pianos in the Bitter End. How has the fame been, and what did you learn from it?
That's a great question. You know, I think that through time, I've really learned that it is all about the human connection. That's what I've learned through all of the different experiences and performances through the years. Ultimately, I really believe that having resilience and having a strong, focused personality has really carried myself and other people through that are in the arts.
To wrap up, I saw your quote, "Don't give up on your dreams. I really believe it's never too late to become what you're destined to be." So what does this quote mean to you?
It is a phrase that I use often. Don't give up on your dreams, and it is never too late. I really want to help other people, and I want to help them discover what is it that they're meant to do. Really love you guys. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram at Emmy Lentino, and I can also be reached at emmylentino.com, and Oceanside is available on all major platforms.
I'm Natalie Wilson with California Life.
The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted nearly every aspect of life for all of us. But for women especially, that meant delaying preventive routine health screenings, including mammograms. A vitally important message from Grammy award-winning artist and breast cancer survivor Sheryl Crow.
In 2006, I was in my early 40s, and I was scheduled to get my yearly mammogram, which I started doing at the age of 40, and it was Grammys week, and I was super fit and ate really well, had no family history. So it just felt like a giant nuisance, but my gynecologist said, let's go get it done. So I went, and the radiologist found something that was sort of an anomaly, come back in 6 months, and my gynecologist once again stepped in and said, don't wait. So we got a needle biopsy, and it turned out that I had invasive breast cancer. And it was a turning point for me. It really dictated that I look at my life harshly and kind of refine it. And what I learned was that I think we as women have perfected the art form of putting everyone first and taking care of everybody before we take care of ourselves. And that sort of became the message for me of having this incredible fan base of women to encourage women to take their health care, their breast care, into their own hands and take care of themselves so they can take care of the people that they love and make sure and get that yearly mammogram starting age 40. We don't have a cure yet for breast cancer or for any cancer, and early detection, I know, changed the trajectory of not only my treatment but my life in general. And had I waited, had I put it off, I could have had much worse or much harsher treatment. Even then, I was detected on a 2D mammogram, and now we have 3D, which is far superior. So although we don't have a cure, at least technology is advancing.
3D screening is the most superior technology that's out there right now. So when you are scheduling your mammogram and you're requesting your scripts from your physicians, definitely request a 3D mammogram. It's going to reduce the false positives and reduce your need to get recalled for additional imaging or unnecessary biopsies and all the anxiety and discomfort that can come with that.
Leading OBGYN Dr. DeCarla Albright has some advice for women who may have missed their breast cancer screenings due to this pandemic.
I also just want, patients to know that it's safe to start resuming their screening. If they have been delayed due to the pandemic, don't delay any further. Pick up the phone today and call and get that mammogram scheduled. There's been the concern that recent COVID vaccination can cause an enlargement of the lymph nodes in the armpits, which that's a common side effect of many vaccines. So this is not unique to the COVID vaccine in and of itself. That's a self-limited issue, and so women can go ahead and schedule their mammogram even despite having been recently vaccinated. By the time you get your mammogram scheduled on the books, the time that you would have needed to wait after COVID vaccination will have elapsed, and you can continue your screening. And if you have been delayed due to the pandemic, I would not use the vaccination as a reason to further delay your screening. I would just let the radiology center know that you've recently been vaccinated and go ahead and have your screening performed.
You can go to genius3dnearme.com and find the nearest 3D mammography to where you are and set up your appointment. So it's genius3dnearme.com.
I'm Gigi Copes reporting for California Life HD. Peanut allergy is a serious health condition affecting more than 1.6 million children and teenagers in the U.S., and the daily burden of living with a peanut allergy can significantly impact a family's life.
We always have to be on guard. We always have to carry her EpiPen and make sure that we always check labels very carefully. Mostly, a lot of food prep, and it's hard to be spontaneous.
A life-changing experience for Robin Lau. Her daughter Addie was diagnosed with peanut allergy when she was just a baby, causing much anxiety and fear that this could be potentially life-threatening.
I was nursing her and she broke out into a severe rash and had bad eczema. So we underwent testing by our allergist and found out she had multiple food allergies, the most severe being peanut.
Peanut allergy symptoms can be wide-ranging. They could be as mild as a runny nose and cough, and they can be as severe as generalized rashes, difficulty breathing, vomiting, and even allergic shock.
According to Addie's allergist, Dr. Mark Greenstein, peanut allergy has become more common in babies and young kids, and up until recently, there was no therapy except strict avoidance.
Roughly last year, Palforzia, made by Immune Therapeutics, got FDA approval for peanut allergy. And essentially, it's an oral therapy where patients come to an allergist's office and receive graded doses of peanut protein in a safe environment.
We were excited to move forward, knowing that this was, a little bit of control that we could have in terms of preventing a future severe reaction for her. So for us, that meant, a little bit of peace of mind to be able to send her on to kindergarten and future life activities that we wanted her to participate in.
Fortunately, Addie can now live a normal life. Dr. Greenstein explains the perfect candidate for this treatment option and some best advice for concerned parents.
Right now, it's approved for kids ages 4 to 17, and I think it's for any family that feels peanut allergies affecting their daily life.
It's definitely a big commitment with daily dosing, so definitely something to consider with their own allergist. But for us, it was a really good fit. Again, like I said, this was a path forward for a better future for her.
For more information, the website is helpforpeanutallergies.com, and that's a good starting point.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, go to our website, californialifehd.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.